What's up, y'all? Chrome Corner, we're back again. We've got Chrome and Charlie T as usual. Charlie T, the guest. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
That's my face. That's my face I made today when Oliveira missed weight. He got stripped of his title.
Charlie T's coming with the shade early today. And there's now he's trying to say that him and a few other fighters are all agreeing that the scale was a little bit heavier than the scales they were weighing in on the hotel.
That is bullshit. That is some bullshit.
That's to say that, man. Well, you know what? Let's wait till we get to the Oliveira fight to talk about it. So,
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. UFC 274, Chrome Corner fight picks. We'll go from the bottom of the main card all the way to the main event. Give you our fight picks as usual. Our Instagram is at Chrome Corner MMA if you want to follow us there. And then I'll have our Instagrams in the description of the video for you to follow us individually if you'd like to. So let's roll with the first fight on the main card. We've got two OGs. We've got Donald Cowboy Cerrone and Joe Lauzon. And, you know, these are two guys that they used to be really fun to watch and in their prime, and I feel like they're both out of that, and everyone would agree with that. A lot of people probably still want to watch just because of who they are. What are your thoughts on it, though?
Dude, honestly, I don't know why this fight's on the main card. Don't get me wrong, I love Cowboy, I love Joe Lauzon. Dude, wasn't Joe Lauzon on the same Ultimate Fighter as Manny Gambarian, Nate Diaz, or am I thinking of another one?
I can't remember if he was on the Ultimate Fighter or not, but I know that he was fighting around that time period.
Joe Lauzon was on the Ultimate Fighter. I think he was on the same season as Manny Gambarian, because Manny, I think, beat him in the semifinals. Dude, like you said, he's OG, though. I mean, I feel like he's that guy that could have been one of the best, but he just never put it all together. I mean, even before he went on the Ultimate Fighter, he had a victory over Jim Pulver, who was the
legend
155 champ back in the day. Yeah. And over his career, he's just been really streaky, man. Like one time, I think he beat Matt Danzig when he was at the top. He beat Michael Chiesa. But he just comes back and loses, loses inexplicably.
Yeah, he was never a guy that really strung them together enough to get to like a title shot and to seize that belt or anything.
And he's really dangerous on the ground, dude. I mean, he can put you away. I mean, he doesn't really have. I mean, his last fight, it's almost 3 years. He knocked dude out, but I think he lost his last 3 before that. I feel like, I don't know why he's fighting. He took almost 3 years off. I thought he was done. Cowboy should be done. He should be done. I mean, I hate seeing a guy hold on for too long. And that's what Cowboy's doing. He's lost, 5 of his last 6? He should have lost the last 6. I think he had that one overturned against, was it Nico Price? Second to last fight. He should be getting whooped. I hate seeing that because the guy's a legend. I mean, Tony knocked him out. Gaethje knocked him out. Connor knocked him out. He got beat up by Pettis. He got beat up by Pettis in that fight.
I think the Ferguson fight was a doctor stoppage, wasn't it? Yeah.
Boy, he's got to go out. But I'm taking Lauzon. I'm taking him by decision, but I think he beats up Cowboy.
I am going to just go on a limb here and say Cerrone pulls it off and rides off into the sunset. I really just hope that happens for his sake. I don't really know what to say or think as far as tactically who I think is going to win this fight. We just haven't seen enough of Lauzon. And, you know, like you said, it's almost been 3 years. Cowboy's lost all these fights. But Cowboy's also, he's lost to some really good guys too. And Lauzon hasn't really been fighting that level of guys. So it's just up in the air for me. I'm picking Cerrone basically on a coin flip. And I want to see him win. But if he wins, he really needs to retire and just take that and run with it. All right. So on to the next fight. We've got Shogun, former champion, long time ago, but former champion, versus Ovince St. Preux. Shogun's coming off of a loss. Ovince St. Preux's coming off of 2 losses. I think that's part of why they're pairing these two up. But we're on me for the first stab at this pick. And, this is another one where I'm like, I don't know. Like, both guys have been lackluster, and Shogun's been around so long. St. Preux is so streaky. I think St. Preux is one of those guys who had a lot of potential. He started training late in his life because he played college football at Tennessee, I believe. And, he had a lot of potential, but he never panned out. He probably got a little chinny from getting knocked out a few times. Shogun's just been around a bit. His Shogun's record looks a little bit better lately. They fought before, and St. Preux won. So I'm going to go with St. Preux, and again, this is kind of a coin flip to me, and I hate picking fights that I feel like are coin flips, but I'm going to go St. Preux off of previously won.
Ooh. But St. Preux doesn't even know what division he fights in. He made his heavyweight debut 2 or 3 fights ago. He fought Ben Rothwell at heavyweight. He fought twice at heavyweight in his last 4 fights.
Yeah. To his defense, he went to a split decision with Rothwell.
Doesn't this seem like another fight where they're throwing in 2 guys who, have that name recognition, but they're kind of near the end?
Yeah.
Just for, I have so much respect for Shogun, but I'm taking him by decision.
So Chandler versus Ferguson, who do you got and why?
I am taking Michael Chandler. Because Michael Chandler can stand fucking bang. Mm-hmm. And the thing about Tony Ferguson, yes, he can as well, but, eventually, no shots to Tony Ferguson, as we learned when we fought Justin Gaethje. He ain't going to stand up forever, man. And, dude, this fight's just going to be amazing. If Tony can withhold the... What?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
If Tony can withhold the grudge of Michael Chandler in round 1, I see it maybe going to decision, of course, Chandler winning, because Chandler's going to outstrike. Chandler's a great volume striker. And I don't think Tony can hit him as much as Gaethje did in their last fight, not even close.
Mm-hmm.
But Tony's just like, man, he takes a high volume of shots, man. He wasn't even trying to avoid Gaethje in their fight.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to. And then he got dominated by Oliveira. I see Chandler dominating. I'm taking Chandler by second round knockout.
Okay. Fair enough. I like the analysis. I'm going to go Chandler.
In his last 3 fights, he's just not as explosive.
Yeah, fair enough. When you get older like that, it seems like the guys do lose that oomph that makes them jump into the fire. Yeah, that explosiveness. I could see that. So, let's see. You went Chandler, I went Chandler, so we got the same pick on that. Moving on to the co-main event of the night. We're getting into the belt fights here. We've got Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza. Rose is the champ. Carla Esparza is ranked number 2. Esparza's on a 5-fight win streak. They fought previously, and Esparza won, coming off of the Ultimate Fighter to see who's going to hold that title. So she was actually the first female to hold that title, I believe, because they used the Ultimate Fighter to create that title. And it was a learning experience for Rose. I think out of the 2, Rose has come back with a lot more fire in her, and that's obviously why she's been champ multiple times. But Esparza's, she's a tough customer too. I'm gonna go with Rose, man. I think that you see more championship level experience with Rose. I've seen her battle through adversity multiple times against tough fighters like Joanna and Zhang Weili. Not really adversity against Zhang Weili, but she's just a warrior, and she's proven that she's that level, and we have to see Carla Esparza prove that, and until she does, I'm going to always roll with Rose. But I do want to say something that I think people are probably just going to overlook because of Rose's name. I think Carla Esparza is a better wrestler. She's probably not better at jiu-jitsu or striking, but she's a better wrestler, and I do think if she makes this a really boring fight, she might be able to just control Rose a lot. That's her only path to victory, or the main path to victory for her in my eyes. But I'm going Rose through decision, unanimous.
Okay. I mean, my pick's no different. I mean, Rose really, I feel like, has evolved since. Because I didn't think she'd beat Jane in that first fight. That was surprising. Especially didn't think she'd knock her out. That second fight, though, she dominated.
Yeah.
That was really impressive.
Yeah.
And you don't want to overestimate Esparza. I mean, but you have to take into account. I mean, 2 of her last 3 wins by split decision. And that Michelle Waterson fight, I remember that fight vividly. That could have gone either way.
Yeah. I thought Michelle Waterson might have won that one, but.
So what I think this is going to be, I think Rose is going to handle it without too much difficulty. I think she'll win by decision. But what I'm interested in really is if Joanna beats Jane, you're setting up a Rose-Joanna title fight.
Those were bangers when we watched those.
Yeah, that's what I want to see, and that's what I'm hoping happens.
Dude, I would watch Wei Li, Joanna, and Rose just all 3 fight it out every Saturday.
Oh, dude, they're so much fun to watch. God.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got Rose, I've got Rose. Are you going decision as well, or what'd you say for a finish?
Yeah, I'm going decision. I don't think she knocks her out, but I think she handles her pretty well.
Okay.
I don't think Esparza can handle Rose.
All right, so we're on to the last fight of the night. This is where the controversy gets, the pot gets stirred a little bit. So Charles Oliveira's coming into the fight as the champ. Justin Gaethje's ranked number 1, so this is your classic number 1 versus the champ fight. Charles Oliveira comes in. Mind you, this fight is at 155. When it's a championship fight, for those who aren't familiar out there, you have to make 155 on the dot or less. You cannot be over. If it was just a regular fight without the belt on the line, you're given 1 pound. So you can be 156 or anywhere below. But it's not that. It's a championship fight. So he had to be 155 or lower. And I was actually wrong when I was talking to you earlier. I'm going to correct myself now. So he comes in at 156 on the scale at first. They give him an hour to lose that 1 pound. He comes back and he weighs 155.5. And then I think he takes his trunks off. At some point he takes his trunks off, but it doesn't affect the scale. It still weighs 155.5. And so moving forward, because Gaethje made weight, the only person who can win the belt tomorrow night if they win the fight is Gaethje. Charles Oliveira, no matter what, cannot win the belt, win, lose, draw, and he does not go into the fight. Well, as soon as the fight starts, they said, is when they technically strip him. So that's what we're coming into this fight with. First of all, what are your thoughts on all that, Charlie?
Oh, God. Well, I mean, obviously it sucks for Oliveira because, dude's 1 pound.
Yeah.
1 pound, but at the same time, you're a world champion. You're the best at what you do. You get paid like you're the best at what you do. You got to be a professional. And if you have to make 155, you got to do everything to make 155. And if you can't, then you just have to face the consequences. I think it's a little harsh stripping him of the belt, but hey, that's what happens. You've had months to prepare for this fight. Right,
full fight camp, and I think one thing that always gets me, and now I'm not a fighter, so I'm speculating, right? That's all we can do at our position, but I don't understand why fighters don't go to the actual scale they are going to get weighed on. If there's any access to that, which you would think there would be, or a scale that is the exact same type of scale, and weigh yourself on that. Why do fighters time and time again just carry around these electric scales that are not the exact scales they're weighing on? Then they weigh themselves on that. They come to the scale and they try to say, well, my scale was different. Well, you knew this whole time that scale is not what they were going to use. So why, if you were anywhere close, why would you chance it?
And also, dude, it's like, man, like, don't wait so long to cut weight. I mean,
yeah.
I understand you. It's just, you're going to run into this risk. I mean, this has been going on in MMA for years. Obviously, we know the devastating health consequences it can have on somebody to weight cut that significantly,
right,
that fast. But you got to do your job, man. You gotta lose that weight. They tell you to get to 155, you got to be 155, and you can't make any excuses because they don't matter.
That's right.
Oliveira had one job, that would be 155, and he didn't.
Yeah, you're a professional. That is the bare minimum.
Dude, he should know this better than anybody because he fought Kevin Lee, right? Like, I think it was the first UFC event after the COVID pandemic, and it was an empty arena, and he fought Kevin Lee, and Kevin Lee came in like 4 pounds over. He should know better than anybody. You can't, you got to make weight.
I believe Oliveira has missed weight before too, but it was at 145, so it was at a lower weight division. But it's the thing, if you were ever making 145, how can you not make 155? It's 10 pounds, Anyway, so
it's lack of professionalism, man. I mean, I hate to say that because he's obviously a world class fighter.
Right.
You got people paying for this fight. Charge guys $75 for the pay-per-view. People paying hundreds and even thousands of dollars for tickets. You gotta come through, dude. You gotta make weight.
Yep. So with that being said, last fight of the night, the main event. Who do you got? Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje. Who goes home the champ?
Well, obviously there's a new variable thrown into it with we don't know if Oliveira will react to this. I mean, he just got stripped of his title. Everything he's worked for is just kind of blown up in his face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thing that makes this fight interesting is Gaethje's a national champion wrestler. Am I wrong, or was he All-American?
At least All-American. I don't know if he was national champion or not.
The thing is about Gaethje, though, like he has this wrestling background, but he never uses it.
Right, it's completely defensive wrestling.
He is so content to stand there and trade and just chop away at your leg with those fucking kicks, man. Those are rough, too. And Oliveira's the type of guy who, I still don't see how he knocked out Michael Chandler. That was impressive, but he'll submit you. Like, you got Dustin that way. You got Kevin Lee that way. What I would be interested to see is if Oliveira does take it to the ground and try submission, how Gaethje would utilize his wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Since he never really tries to. Is he going to use it as a defensive tactic, or is he going to try to take it to the ground? I feel like he's not going to try to go to the ground unless Oliveira takes it there.
Yeah, no, I don't think he will either. And I think it's...
Yeah, but then again, if they stand there and trade, Gaethje's going to get the better of him because no one hits harder at 155 than Gaethje.
Oliveira's got some skill, and he's no chump when it comes to the stand-up, but he has nowhere near the chin that Gaethje has. I mean, look at the Chandler fight. He got rocked like 5 times and never went down. It's like he gets rocked, and it takes him such a small window to get back into his right mind when a lot of people, they're not the same the rest of the fight or for the rest of the round when they get rocked. Gaethje comes back quick, and Oliveira, he's done better lately because he's gotten rocked and that's happened to him and he's come back from it. But, I just think, like you said, the power's with Gaethje on that. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because... I was going to take Oliveira by, I was going to say decision,
mm-hmm.
Even though it's kind of crazy. I feel like this fight is not going to last 5 months. I don't know. I might be just pulling this out of left field, but I think Gaethje with everything that's going on. I think Gaethje's going to score and knock out. Oliveira's never had someone that powerful hitting him. I think if he clips him in the first or second round, he goes night-night.
Yeah.
Oliveira's susceptible to taking a punch, too. So I'm taking Gaethje, and I'm taking him by second round knockout.
So when I saw the face-off at the press conference, and face-offs, you know, if you watch MMA, you know, it doesn't matter half the time. Sometimes you feel like you can tell a little bit from the face-off, but then you may they may fight, and it doesn't even show what you thought. So you never know. But when I was watching the press conference face-off, I felt nerves from Gaethje, and I felt like Oliveira was locked in, and then he missed weight. They came into the face-off today, and I felt like Gaethje was great. Like, he looked great, and Oliveira had nerves and was nervous because of probably everything that's going through his mind now. And I was on the fence, too. I, for some reason, felt like Oliveira was going to win, even though I was going to be rooting for Gaethje. And now it's kind of flipped in my head, and it's such an odd situation because you don't see this much in title fights. And so I'm going to go Gaethje, and I actually have on my paper here, too. It's funny when you said that I was trying to not smile and give it away for the camera, but I actually have a second-round TKO or KO by Gaethje as well. I think they're both going to be a little bit – I mean, Gaethje's pretty gangster, but they're going to be a little bit timid, trying to fill each other out in the first round enough to where the second round's where they really bring the heat, and Gaethje's going to mess him up.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gaethje, if he does score a knockout, it's going to come early.
Yeah, I agree. And then if it goes late, he's not going to want Oliveira on his back, so he's going to try to play smarter so that he can get the win in the end, I think. Because his coaches are going to calm him down. They do. Trevor Whitman does a good job of calming him down because he used to just be reckless. That's our run for this one. That's our fight picks. We'll post on IG the fight picks as well, like we always do. Subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it, y'all. If you made it this far, we really appreciate you watching this far into the video. Follow us on Instagram as well individually. Before we go, I got on the shirt for Anthony Pettis, my boy, tonight. Got a win in the PFL. He got a submission off a triangle. He had a tough go last season. Yeah, Showtime. Tough go last season, and he pulled off a submission win in the first round of this. So they do a point system in the PFL, so he gets 3 points or something like that for that, which is better than just a regular win. Anyways, just want to throw some props out there for my boy Pettis. But yeah, anything to end it off with, Charlie? Or are you good?
No, I'm gonna catch the rest of this Kayla Harrison fight though.
Yeah, man, go ahead and get to it. Thanks guys for watching. We're out.